Hi guys, once again, Prototype X01 here for the second part of my three-part review of the Portal series. Today, Portal 2 single-player campaign. Now, let me just get this done and over with. Okay, it's a much better improvement over the first game, but in some ways, there are a few little hiccups here and there. Now, what you see behind you right now is the cooperative campaign trailer. This just basically goes on whenever you don't do anything for a while. Now, before I start the review, a friend of mine, once again, me listen to death metal, made a good point in saying that in Portal 1, the loading times were a little bit annoying when you die. It would take ages to load, and yes, I acknowledge that, but it's still nothing to like give it a bad review over, because of the fact that I hardly ever died. Now, might as well have a quick look at this. First of all, the trailers for this game were amazing. All of them had brilliant. All of them were brilliant. They were very well done. To be honest, most of Valve's Valve's trailers are brilliantly well done. Of course, this shows Atlas and P-body, who are the cooperative characters, but that's not past this review. This is for the next review. So we'll go on, press start. Okay, so first of all, if you remember me saying, the Portal 1 campaign took at least 3 hours to complete, 3 to 2 hours, depending on how good you were. This one makes a massive improvement in taking at least 8 to 9 hours. That is a huge, major difference over the last game. So we will start up the game. Once again, this review may contain spoilers. I'll try my best not to ruin anything, but there may be. Gameplay-wise, nothing to complain about. This is practically this is the same engine basically that have been used in every single Valve game since it started. To be honest, this is Valve's source engine. So control-wise is pretty much the same. Let's just wait for it to load up now. Here we go. Almost. A big flashing light which blinds me. Thank you very much. Alright, there we go. Right, okay. Now, many people were wondering from the last game, how exactly are you alive after the events of the first game? Well, what it was is you didn't die at the explosion. What happens is, when Portal 2 was announced, in the PC version of the game, it made an update where it shows your character being dragged back into the facility and brought into this. Hang on, I'm just changing it so I can see these subtitles quickly, if I need to do it for reference. You're brought to this relaxation vault, basically. Nice little relaxation vault, basically a sort of prison for you, which wakes you up every good couple of days to to make sure that you're in full working order. The story is that the reserve power goes out, and this is how your character, she stays in like a state of rest for like hundreds and hundreds of years. And that's why the reserve power went out. You are the only person alive left in the facility. Just stare at the wall art now. There you go. There are primary characters. This character here isn't really a character. It's all like a pre-recorded voice of a basic Microsoft Sam sort of thing. It's basically a basic metallic voice which goes on. Not sure who that's played by. The main Gladys, of course, is back, played once again by, I believe her name is Anna McClain. Now, Chapter 1 courtesy call. This is set as a lot like Valve. What am I talking about? This is set as a lot like Half-Life 2. This shows the chapter thing. Here we go. New character, Wheatley, the personality sphere, who is in charge of looking after all of the test subjects. He is basically a bumbling moron, but he is played by Steve Merchant, and most of his lines, well, practically every single one of his lines is brilliant. Let's see. They did a good job of making him feel human without him actually, you know, of course they had to show that he was a robot in ways, but he did actually have some sort of like human feelings. Now, already this looks more like a walkthrough than the iJustine ones, and I'm not even talking about the game. Now, of course there was this first bit here, where, you know, it's just a room all tattered up, and soon he's going to remove that, this whole wall's going to be removed, and it's going to show the, how good Valve of God really is. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, you play, once again, a Shell, of course. But she does look a little bit different in this game than she does in the first game, because she's not wearing the orange Aperture Science test clothing, as opposed now she's taken the top half off and she's wearing like a vest top. This is brilliant. When he asks you to say yes, you have to press A to say yes, and you actually just jump, and he acknowledges that. He says, okay, you just jumped, that was just jumping there, say apple. Say apple, and once again you jump. The humour in this game, let me just say this is possibly one of the funniest games I've ever played. Ever. I mean, I have had plenty of games before where they're like, I get that. But this game is just funny all the way through. I was playing this with my brother in single player, and he was laughing along with me. It's brilliant. Now, this scene right here, if you have a good TV, it is brilliant to behold. Look at that. I say, IGN made a complaint in saying that the graphics weren't astounding. I don't think that. I think that IGN made that completely a wrong statement by saying that, because if you just look at this scene here, I mean, look at that, wow. IGN also said that the game started to lose tension in the second half. I don't think that either. Once again, a brilliant game. All the way through. Plenty of character development as well. I mean, there isn't just a character which says hello and then says goodbye. They were planning that with Wheatley. The original personality sphere was going to be like 4 or 5 personality spheres, but they decided to compound it down to 1, and his performance is possibly better than Gladys's. Gladys, of course, does wake up, not to ruin anything, but she does get woken up by a mistake that Wheatley makes, and she requires you to test. And what I love is that the facility is practically rebuilding itself right next to you. Like you practically, like, to quote IGN, they say that it's like walking into the room while their pants are down, and that is quite a true fact. Bust through the wall. You can just sit back in this scene and look at some of the excellent detail that they put. Now, this is one of the old testing tracks, and as soon as you go in, you'll feel nostalgia from the first game. Go through, there's a bit of talking, but I'll skip that, and you jump down, and boom! And this is the original bed. This is like deja vu. But unfortunately, there's no cup. And there's also no cryo tube, which is what I'm quite confused at, is the fact that there's no cryo chamber from the first game, if you know what I mean, the cryo bed. Once again, the announcer, finally I can pick up the clipboard. There we are, there's the clipboard, as opposed to the cup I picked up last time. And of course the radio, which was in it first time. 3, 2, 1, there we are, portal. There we are, if you can see that, there's Shell. She is now wearing the white vest top, and the boots that she wears are a little different from the springs that the sort of like foot springs that you had in the first game. They're not exactly the same. Once again, deja vu. Here's the cube. The cubes actually have a different look than they do in the first game. You can see there's a different design. But this is hundreds and hundreds of years into the future. Aperture Science, in a way, could have evolved over the time. And there is not one level which feels like it's dragging on too long. Yeah, most of those 9 to 8 hours were spent trying to figure out where to go. Because there are sometimes these huge puzzles which you have absolutely no idea what to do, but when you find out, you actually feel very smart, and that is what Valve does a good job at doing, making you feel smart in this game. Oh yeah, another thing that they've allowed you to do in this game is zoom, which is something that you couldn't do in the first game. Now, oh yeah, this test chamber is slightly different because Valve felt like people were just waiting for the portal to come, but now they've given people the chance to control the portals before they, you know, instead of just waiting for the whole button to cube thing. Any other characters? Oh yes, of course, Cave Johnson. Cave Johnson is played by J.K. Simmons, who you may know as J. Jonah Jameson from the Spider-Man movies. I'm talking about the recent Spider-Man movies, if there were any Spider-Man movies beforehand. You know, I'm talking about the new ones. The I Want Spider-Man one. Hang on, that's practically what he's like in every single thing. But yes, altogether, this game deserves a 9 out of 5. One problem. This. Loading times weren't such a problem in the first game. They're a definite problem in this one. These happen every single test chamber, to my knowledge. Valve will probably get a patch for it, but for, as it stands, there is a definite problem with the loading times. This happens every test chamber, to my knowledge. Every time you go into one of those elevators. Ah, there's Wheatley again. Right, okay, so what did I say? 9.5, because it is a near-perfect game. There are some slight problems, but nothing too weird to complain about. And one more thing. This artwork in this first test chamber is just brilliant. This is once again from the character Ratman, but this one here has got to be one of my favorites. The shell picture. The artwork in this game is just amazing. Like, they really puts an effort in to show that Ratman was still alive during that time. Still alive? But I believe he's dead now. I'm not sure. If anybody would like to give me some information on that, I would like to know, because I'm quite interested in the character of Ratman. Another thing. Many people will, if I don't say it, will start asking, was there a song at the end of Portal 2? Well, yes there is. And lots of people will say, is it like Still Alive? In ways, yes. Jonathan Coulton once again plays it, so it's not like an acoustic song, it's more of a sort of electronica song. But in my opinion, it's brilliant, but not as really brilliant as Still Alive. The song is called Want You Gone. Worth checking out, definitely. And this game once again has a brilliant ending. So, let's recap. No flaws apart from the loading times and some slight other things which I can't exactly remember. 9 out of 5. Game feels really difficult without feeling too challenging, because you never want to I actually did not put this down for the whole 9 hours that I played it. Now, the next part will be the multiplayer, followed by my thoughts on the game. That is in one full video. Check that out as soon as it comes out. Thanks again, guys.